Oh, you're so sweet. Horseflies keep hanging around your face. Kentucky moonshine can never take your place. Those eyes, they give me goosebumps down to my toes. Feel like the only rooster in the hen house, so I guess it shows. And little Susie, such a lovely name. She's nothing like the females in New York City. Her front teeth's missing, but that's fine for kissing. She's more loyal than my dog Sam and twice as pretty. Jere! Ah, little Susie. And she's so sweet. Those horseflies keep hanging around her face. Kentucky moonshine can never take her place. And those eyes, they give me goosebumps down to my toes. Feel like the only rooster in the hen house, so I guess it shows. Susie, such a lovely name. She's nothing like the females in New York City. Her front teeth's missing, but that's fine for kissing. She's more loyal than my dog Sam and twice as pretty. She's so sweet, horseflies keep hanging around her face. Kentucky moonshine could never take her place. In her eyes, they give me goosebumps down to my toes. Felt like the only rooster in the hen house, and I guess it shows. Felt like the only rooster in the hen house, and I guess it shows. Let it ring, boys. Okay, we're up here at, we're back, Carmine's Country Corner. We were going to have Greg and Sousa Leon. Would somebody say something?
Country Corner.
Oh. Anyway, we were going to have Greg and his wife Sousa up here, Leon. And they were going to be our guest artist, and they called today, and she ended up a little under the weather, so maybe we'll do it next week or the week after. And with all that said, I'm going to at least announce that Greg's got a new album out called All the Children, I think it's called. And it's kind of a rock. You know, Greg was the lead guitar player for Quiet Riot back in the 80s. And I don't really know too much about that band. But I do know this, when they played, 20,000 people would show up. I know that much. So they were a pretty good kind of a rock band. And Greg's a real nice guy. Became a good friend of mine. Lives right up the street. He's got a great studio here in Lockwood Center. If anybody needs anything, get a hold of me. I'll get you in touch with Greg. And he's been around a while. He's a real good guy. And a funny thing happened. Yesterday morning, I wasn't feeling that well on Friday and Saturday, so I didn't go to work. I just kind of stayed home and laid low. And I've been working on this boat. So Greg calls me, and I think it's the guy on the boat returning the call. So I go right into, hey man, how you doing? He says, pretty good. And he doesn't know what's, I say, listen, your boat's ready to go. I said, all I got to do is one more little thing. It'll take me 5 minutes, and you can pick it up on Monday, and, blah, blah. And he's so sweet, this guy. He's just listening. He's not saying, and then he says, Carmine, this is Greg Leon. And I said, I thought you were Jack, this boat owner, that I'm working on this boat. He says, no. He says, I said, well, listen, I said, I have to get the boat off the lot, so if you want to go take the boat, I said, just buy yourself a truck and go down and get that thing off my lot, and you can have the boat. And so we made a joke out of it and kind of started laughing. But I had no idea it was him. I'm going on with all this business talk, and he's just listening. Anyway, so he did call me this morning and say he was sorry that he couldn't make it.
And take the boat.
I hope the boat's still there. One of them is going to pick it up. I have no idea who. I know they owe me a little bit of money. When they do, I hope I get my money. If I don't, well, life goes on.
Tell us about that guitar.
This guitar here belonged to a very close friend of mine named J.J. Mack. You can look him up on the internet, not that anybody would want to or whatever. But he was a good he was from Shreveport, Louisiana, Baton Rouge, actually, Louisiana. And he was a real swampy, kind of like a Billy Joel rocking, cool cat. Sang good, looked good. And I met him in about 68, 69, and we played in Newport Beach a lot. Now, this was his guitar.
Nice guitar.
Yep.
Old guitar.
And I bought this. I didn't buy it from him. He sold it to another friend of mine, and I bought it from that guy probably 40 years ago. But it's probably back from the 60s somewhere, and he's got a cool album. I'm going to bring the album cover in one day and show you. He's kind of a good-looking guy, Levi's, this great country shirt with this guitar, standing by these trees out in like the forest, and it says Long, Long Road was the name of his kind of hit song. It's a long road back home was his signature thing. And and he unfortunately passed away this last December, and
they have this.
Wasn't happy about that, but I'm happy that I have JJ's guitar, JJ Mack's acoustic.
There's the finish looks a certain way on the really old ones.
Yeah,
I've seen that, and you can tell it's the only guitar that kind of gives that. Hard to describe it. Beautiful guitar.
They don't sound too awful, Dan, thanks for sitting in. Paul's going to be gone 2 weeks, this week and next week. Now, John, I was kind of talking along a lot here, and I'm trying to get a lot out in a short period of time. We are at Bob Smith Toyota. Of course, we come from Bob Smith every week. He was nice enough to let us have this place to play. And we have some people with us. My wife Susie's here this week. Of course, Kim's the only one at the controls because Tom is off this week. And Dr. Kathy and Dr. Teresa are here, our two good friends. And Joey is here somewhere. And, of course, my grandson Brandon. They're out there listening to the show. We hope you're all watching. Hope you all have a good time. Palmer, real quick, you got about 30 seconds. You did a gig last night. Tell us a little bit about it.
Johnny Rivers. I don't know if you remember, at Poor Side of Town. Memphis had a couple of hits back in the 60s.
Oh, Johnny Rivers. I love Johnny Rivers. Secret Agent Man and Memphis and all those songs.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. I took my 10 lug chrome over brass out there and I hit it and went, Secret Agent Man? Yes, you are. My snare drum sounded really great. I'm not sure about the rest of the show.
Well,
but a lot of people came and they all seemed like they had a pretty darn good time.
John, let me ask you something.
Go ahead, Daddy.
When you're playing that snare drum out in the audience,
yeah.
do the rest of the people kind of get annoyed?
No, they crowd around me, start dancing.
Oh, okay.
They know I'm part of the show. That's right.
Well, you are part of the show, and you're part of this show. But your part of the show is over now, so give Dan back the mic. Anyway, I love you, man.
I can tell you a Johnny Rivers joke.
John's a great cat. You got a Johnny Rivers joke? All right, I want to hear it.
It's not a joke, but you ever see, what's that Ray guitar that he plays of the whiskey? On the album, it's like some kind of...
335.
Yeah, 335.
Oh, yeah, the Gibson.
So he has it, he pulls it out, he puts it on, it's red, and he looks at everybody and he says, anybody remember that red guitar that I played on the Whiskey A Go-Go record? And they go, yeah. He goes, this isn't it.
Well... I bet he wished he had it. He probably still does.
Whatever happened to him?
Oh, Johnny Rivers. He ended up at the Commerce Casino last night.
Well, Johnny did a lot of good things. He's a good cat, and he's a good singer, and he wrote some great songs, and that's all I can say. Right now we got Gary Swan going to do us one, and we're just going to get through the hour. I'm not even going to stand up. I'm just going to sit down and relax. I'm going to play some acoustic and just have a little bit of fun. So what do we got, Gary?
You want to do that?
Sure, whatever you want.
Okay, we're going to do a tune that I just wrote just now in my head. It goes 5, 4, 1, and D, I think. I don't have any idea how this goes, but. Okay, yeah.
Lay it down, Daddy.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I could stop the song if it's not really working. Could I do that?
Or do something you don't have to stop. How about
Okay,
that?
all
We
right.
do that every week.
That'd be the other choice.
5, 4, and then 1. Start on the A. 1, 2, a 1. Just call me lonesome, heartbroken and some. I ain't got no one since you've been gone. You call me baby, I got a new name. Don't need my old one, call me lonesome from now on. You used to call me your one and only. Now you only call me someone you once needed. You said forever we'd stay together. You came between us now, forever lies pieces. Just call me lonesome, heartbroken and some. I ain't got no one since you've been gone. You call me baby, I got a new name. Don't need my old one, call me lonesome from now on. Call me. I see you with him and fall apart again. Remembering when I was the only one you needed. You said forever we'd stay together. You came between us now, forever lies pieces. Just call me lonesome, heartbroken and some. I ain't got no one since you've been gone. You call me baby, I got a new name. Don't need my old one, call me lonesome from now on. Oh yeah.
Yeah, good choice. Who did that song?
Who knows? I did. I just
Bradley
did it.
Foster. Now there's the name
I just did it.
What's his name? I got it wrong. Bradley? Rad. Oh, Rad. Forget it. You can't even say it. Okay. Good guy did that song. Say it.
I just did it.
Bradley Foster, formerly of
Bradley
Foster and
Foster.
Lloyd.
Jeez, he knows everything. Dan, you want to try one?
This is by Lewis and Triple.
So we're coming to you from Bob's from Toyota.
Where I'd give them away, but my wife won't let me.
Yeah. This is kind of the wild country band tonight. Cody is off doing a gig, and who else usually comes up? Well, Cody. So we're gonna miss him this week. Paul is off for a couple of weeks, but we're just gonna hack it out. It'll be fun. So we got it. What are we doing?
I'm gonna do one that
Oh, hey,
Johnny
here's a
Rivers
song.
told.
We were just talking about this guy. Sounds just like the record to me.
It goes
That was
around
fun.
and around.
Is this thing still in tune? Not bad. That's not bad beating on this thing like that. Okay, I'm going to do one now. That's a lot of work. Hope you're enjoying the show, folks. Tell your friends, and you know what to do. Blue and broken hearted me, holding to a memory. Since you've been gone, no matter what I try to be, it's blue and broken hearted me. I can't explain the way I feel. Every tear I cry is real. Since you've been gone, no matter what I try to be, it's blue and broken hearted me. Let's pick it a while. Every tear I cry is real. And since you've been gone, no matter what I try to be, it's blue and broken hearted me. Oh, blue and broken hearted me. Holding to a memory. Since you've been gone, no matter what I try to be, it's blue, broken hearted me. You know, I almost forget the words because when I'm listening to the band and the music and I'm thinking about what I want to play, the words are the last thing on my mind. I'm listening to the piano and I'm thinking I want to play something here, so I'm not thinking about what's coming up next because I'm not really, you know, like a singer guy. But anyway, you know, this band, when we started this band years ago, and I remember telling you in front of Michael's, I said, this is going to be the boys are going to get to play in this band. this isn't about the singers. I love the singers. They're great, and they all sing great. But it's really about us playing, and then they get to sing a little, and we get to play a lot. And that's kind of what we started, and that's so that's it. Now, oh wait, she's gonna say something. What? My wife's pointing.
Say hi to Joe and Linda McGinnis.
Joe and Linda McGinnis. You know, Joe McGinnis is one of the McGinnis boys, and like the Sardo brothers, they got a lot of boys. I think they had about 8 or 9 of them, didn't they? It was Norm and Frank and Rick, and of course Don and Doug and Joe and Norm. I said Norm. I knew every one of them. I loved them all. And the older brother, Doug, real short story. I know you all know what the Palomino Club is. Well, let me tell you who opened that as a nightclub before it was the Palomino Club. In that building, on that spot, right there in Lancashire and North Hollywood, was Doug McGinnis. In 1948-49, opened the club called the Mule Kick. And in about 1972, 73, around there, Billy and Tommy Thomas bought it, and they bought the Mule Kick. And they changed the name to the Palomino Club. But people like Jimmy Bryant, of course, all the McGinnis boys, a lot of the guys in the valley were all playing at the Mule Kick before it was the Palomino Club. So there's a little bit of history a lot of people don't know, but that's...
Was it a dirt road then?
No, it was Lancashire Boulevard, but the parking lot was all dirt. Remember that pebble parking lot they had? And I started hanging out there in the 60s and started playing there in the late 60s, and I played there all through. And, you know, I do upholstery for a living. And Tommy would have me upholster. I upholstered that place at least twice. All those red boots you guys were sitting in and all that red vinyl chairs, that was all my work. I upholstered that place. Susie was with me. Well, I did it a little before she came along, but because that's been 60 years ago, but Sue and I had been together like 52, and she remembers. She'll go down there with me with the van. This one time, Tommy says to me, Carmine, I want you to do 300 chairs, those little stack chairs, you know. I said, okay. He says, I got to have them done by a certain date. He had Jerry Lee or Emmy Lou, somebody coming in. What?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would have done it if he needed it. I said, give me about 2.5 weeks. He said, that's perfect. They're coming in next month. I want the place to look good. So I go to his office. We write up the deal. I get a little deposit, and I got my van, and I say, I want to pick 100 up of them today. I'm going to pick 100 chairs up. And he calls one of his workers over and says, hey, go with Carmine and make sure he picks up 100 chairs. And even though Tommy and I trusted each other, it's business, you know. And I said, Tommy, I said, you don't want to count the chairs on the way out. You want to count them on the way in. He said, you know something, you're right. And he told his boys, he said, forget it. Carmine, get your chairs, get them done. I said, okay, we never had a problem. So that was a little story between Tommy and I. I used to go into his office. He had stacks of 45 records. Back then, everybody was sending him a 45, either a demo or something they made, and stacks of promotional black and white pictures, you know, of different artists. He'd say, look at this stuff. He said, I don't even listen to half of it. You know, if I like the way the guy looks, I'll hire him, you know. But he says, how am I going to listen to all? And then another thing, too, and I know the guys in the band saw plenty of this. He'd have stacks of money. I mean, this 2 feet high of 20s and 100s and 50s and 10s. And I think the ones he would like throw in the trash, you know, because they were like in the way. But Tommy was a cool guy. And there was something else about Tommy I got to tell you that I just loved. I only booked about maybe 4 or 5 different bands in that club where I booked it. You know, most of the time I worked there, other people called me and I'd go play with Gene Davis or Tony Booth, whoever would call me. I told him about a friend of mine, Greg Topper down in Newport. I said, Tommy, this guy's good. He said, if you like him, I like him. He gave me a date. Didn't want to hear the band, didn't want to know about it. I brought him up, and I'm not lying, we packed the joint. Because I got a big family, I make one phone call and 300 people show up, you know. Anyway, that's enough about me and what I got to do. But that's a true story, and so there, can't change it. Okay, so Gary, do another one.
Me? I can't help it.
I love this song.
Indeed.
Okay.
I passed you on the street, and my heart fell at your feet. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. Somebody else stood by your side, and he looked so satisfied. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. Picture from the past came slowly creeping as I brushed your arm, stood so close to you. Then suddenly I got that old time feeling. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. It's hard to know all the lips have kissed you, held you just the way I used to do. Heaven only knows how much I miss you. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. No, I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. No, I can't help it if I'm still in love with you.
Now that's country there.
Song makes me cry.
You know, I always love playing that stuff just straight ahead. None of the walk-up stuff. It's all good, but
And not with the
Tim-
trombone either.
that, to me, is the groove right there. Dan, you're doing a great job, and Palmer, thank you. You guys sound great. You're tight as a drum. What you got? Tight as a bass and a drum.
Tighter
Dan.
than Tommy Thomas.
You want to do another one?
Yeah, I'll do
All
that.
right, what do you got?
Key of A.
I'm not even playing my Telecaster. I'm having so much fun on JJ's guitar. JJ, this is for you, my friend. We love you.
Just stay where you're at, JJ.
JJ would say, hey man, this ain't no concert. He'd whistle at the waitresses and point at the tables. If the customers weren't getting, he'd watch the crowd. If a table was getting a little neglected, he had this great whistle. He'd do this whistle, he'd point at the waitress, go like that. Get over there. Did one right over to serve the customers. He was a good guy.
This is a song that Marty Stewart recorded,
I love Marty Stewart.
and it actually got out.
God, he's a boy. What a great artist he is, man. Okay, what do we got? Key
Mississippi down in Alabama, fever like a fever all across the land. From deep in the Delta on the Louisiana shore, people gotta have it. They want to hear some more. It's the heavenly rock, beating with the drum, playing the guitars, or shooting from a gun, keeping up the rhythm, steady as a clock, doing a little thing called the heavenly rock. Some say it came from Memphis in Tennessee, or it drifted in from Georgia by 1953. Just as long as it's crazy, as long as it's fast, as long as it's fun and honey, it's gonna last. It's a heavenly rock, beating with the drum, playing the guitars, or shooting from a gun, keeping up the rhythm, steady as a clock, doing a little thing called the heavenly rock.
I remember the year Clayton lady died. They said for the last 2 weeks he suffered and he cried. And it made a big impression on me, although I was a barefoot kid. And they said he got religion at the end, and I'm glad that he did. Now Clayton was the best guitar picker in our town. used to follow Clayton around. And I often wondered why Clayton, he seemed so good to me. And he never took that guitar, made it down in Tennessee. And my daddy said he drank a lot, but I could never understand. And I knew he used to pick up in Ohio with a 5-piece band. I often wondered why Clayton, who seemed so good to me, he never took that guitar, made it down in Tennessee. I guess if I'd admitted old Clayton taught me how to drink booze. I can see him half stone picking up the lovesick blues. When Clayton died, I made him a promise I was gonna carry on somehow. I'd give $100 if he could only see me now. I'm gonna pick it again. Yeah. Clayton Delaney. Well, I remember the year Clayton Delaney died. And nobody ever knew it, but I went up in the woods and I cried. And I know there's a lot of big preachers, and they know a lot more than I do. And it could be that the good Lord likes a little picking too. And I remember the year Clayton Delaney died. Thank you, folks. Yep, okay.
A long time forgotten, dreams that just fell by the way. Good life he promised ain't what she's living today. But she never complained about the good things that they've done, Lord. Just talk about all the good times it had, all the good times to come. She's a good-hearted woman, loving a good time and man, who loves him in spite of his wicked ways. She don't understand. The teardrops and laughter pass through this world hand in hand.
Susie.
She's a good-hearted woman, loving a good time and man. Who loves me in spite of my wicked ways. She don't understand. Little teardrops and laughter pass through this world hand in hand. She's a good-hearted woman, loving a good time and man. She's a good-hearted woman, loving a good time and man.
How simple can it get?
Let me tell you, it was 10 people, 5 would clap.
That's right. Anyway, what do we got? Do you want to do another one? What else got? 11 minutes. Huh?
We didn't ask for what time it was.
Okay, I'll do one and then maybe you'll do a couple and we'll be done. Boy, the hour did fly by tonight.
Wow, yeah.
And we had a great time. Sorry we didn't have the guest artist, but you know what? Every once in a while, we're just going to do this, like a 4-piece kickback, not to worry band. Huh? Quiet Riot. Oh, yeah, we're picking him up in the next week or so. As soon as but you know, it's funny. This guy's a heavy rock player, and plays great. I mean, he traveled all over the world. But his wife does country music, like Silver Threads and Golden Needles and Together Again. She does all these great country songs, and she sings good, and he plays it. He's cool. So it's kind of a pretty good contrast
You
there.
got to be good to be in Quiet Riot. It wasn't
Yeah, it's a little different. I mean, Tammy Wynette fronting the Quiet Riot band. I don't know how that would go over.
He just heard the term quiet. He thought, I get to play quiet.
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're Quiet Riot. We're from Tennessee.
1, 2, 3. This old smoke-filled bar, something I'm not used to. I just left my home to keep you satisfied. Stop by, see me anytime you want to. And you can always find me here till closing time. I got swinging doors, a jukebox, and a bar stool. And my new home has a flashing neon sign. Stop by, see me anytime you want to. 'Cause you can always find me here till closing time. Honky tonk. I got everything I need, drive me crazy. And I got everything I need to lose my mind. The atmosphere in here's just right for heartache. And thanks to you, baby, I'm always here till closing time. I got swinging doors, a jukebox, and a bar stool. And my new home has a stop by and see me anytime you want to. 'Cause you can always find me here to close the time. Swinging doors, a jukebox, and a bar stool. And my new home has a flashing neon sign. Please stop by, see me anytime you want to. 'Cause you can always find me here to close it. Well, folks, Gary Swan's going to take us out. I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of fun. The boss is waving at me again, and I have to find out what's going on. What do you got, Susie? Chad and Pam have done this show so many times, and we just love them. Chad, we love you. Pam, of course, we love you. And call me, or I'll call you, and let's come up and do another one. They're kind of fun. Tonight was a little loose. I never played my telly. I never did any chicken picking or whatever else I do in that down thing. And I hadn't played this guitar in years, at least not in this kind of a situation. And I kind of like it. It was kind of fun. The E string's not quite loud enough. See how much louder the B is? That has to do with the pickup. I got one of these portable pickups. But this is one of the old ones. This is from years ago. This is what we used to do. We didn't, you know, all the acoustic guitars now have built-in amps and they got knobs and everything. Yeah. This is acoustic, and this thing just kind of pokes in there. You kind of push one side and then the other. And then you got to kind of twist it. Yeah. I don't know whether you noticed me or not, but while I was playing throughout the night, throughout the show, you would see me kind of move it because I'm listening to the notes, and you got to find the spot.
Yeah, you don't want to put that thing in there permanently.
No. We don't put any holes in this guitar. We don't do all that crap. But anyway, it's great stuff, and of course the technology's gotten a lot better. But I think I got the most out of it. I think we can get out of this thing tonight. I think it sounded okay to me. What do I know? Now we're gonna rock out. We love you, Bob Smith Toyota. See you next week. Don't be late. Hey.
I live on a whole lot of shit going on. I live on a whole lot of shit going on. I ain't begging a whole lot of shit going on. Come on over, we got some of that drum. Who is that drummer? John Palmer, y'all. Give me some of that bass now. These tennis shoes are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these tennis shoes are gonna walk all over you. The star of the show, Carmine Sardo. Come on over, a whole lot of shaking going on. Come on over, a whole lot of shaking going on.
Hey! See you next week. Don't be late.